Hello, it is another movie Monday, and we saw a movie that none of us really knew anything about. Um,
Nope.
I put it on the
Haven't
list
had
because
one.
I'd heard of it and I'd heard people liked it, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
And
we haven't had one of these in a while, I don't think, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
besides well, yeah, what movies do we know like nothing about? I mean, 'cause even stuff like Attack the Block, which we hadn't seen before, we knew like the mood and stuff going into it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So I think this might be the most unknown.
so
Probably.
far, yeah.
Yeah. But actually, though, while I was watching it, though, the whole thing about so the whole thing about Kaiser Soze, like,
Hmm.
I'd actually heard that before. Like, I'd heard that
Oh,
that was a
really?
thing, and that was like the whole thing was some twist. Who is this Kaiser Soze? Like, I'd heard that was a thing, and in like movies, but I didn't know if that was this movie or another one.
Oh.
So when they
I
started talking about, it, I was like, oh, that is this movie, okay. But
Hmm.
I did not know like what the answer was or anything. So, uh, I don't know where I am on this movie.
I guess this is my general consensus.
Okay.
I was so disengaged until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of understand. Okay, so like, I thought the overall kind of story and like the overall like, especially as this sort of mystery did kind of come into play, I
mm,
was kind of curious. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to curious to know the answer, but and it's not like I disliked the characters, but like
They were all so similar to me. Like,
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I
I
can't
don't
point
know.
to anything and say like I don't like this, but at the same time, as like an overall thing though, it's like yeah, I just did not like get engaged.
yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't get invested as much.
Even
I
though again,
kind
like
of
I feel like I said though I was kind of curious about the story, but like that still didn't wasn't good enough. I don't know. Like
I think it's kind of like there were so many layers that you had to keep track of, kind of.
Yeah, because like, okay, I could remember who Keaton was because they kept talking about him.
Mm,
And then I knew obviously who Verbal was because he's like the main guy giving the testimony and he's has the narration, which I usually don't like, and again, I don't really care for it in this movie either. But the other accomplices, I couldn't really differentiate them. They were just other middle-aged white men who just did stuff and then died.
mm,
And
yeah,
then like Kobayashi, that's a Japanese name. So when this white man came into the frame,
yeah, I'm very confused by that too.
yeah.
I was like, all right, that was not a very good decision, but all right.
I mean, I think though I was thinking like I guess it's like a code name or something, but like then but the thing is like considering how that ends, it kind of makes sense why
How it
that
ends
doesn't make sense,
makes,
right?
yeah,
So
I,
it's
Yeah.
I
like
guess.
it's one of those things where it's like okay, the ending was interesting, and it's
But
definitely one of those movies where it's like now it's like oh, so you don't now you want to like go back and watch it again now that you know what the twist is or whatever. But it's like
But
but
not
do
really.
I? But yeah, I like do I though?
yeah,
Not I don't really.
I kind of agree. It's one of those things where the ending is really interesting and engaging and stuff like that, but getting to that ending maybe.
I didn't feel like it was worth the effort.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like this is just another late 90s film noir and I just don't care for that. And we've seen so many and they were exactly the same. So
The twist somewhat reminds me of the that other movie we saw during the 300 movie challenge.
Uh,
The one with the church.
the church. I don't
There,
what
remember a
else?
church.
there was like a it was like there was a murder of someone in the church, and then they brought in the guy that
Oh,
was
you mean the one where the guy was faking it?
yeah,
Oh, Primal Fear.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, 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 yeah. Like in a similar vein where it's like the guy walks like gets off easy and stuff like that, but I
hmm.
guess obviously they're both different in
Yeah,
terms
well,
of
because I remember Primal Fever were kind of split on, and I as well, and I know that like I liked it more than you, but even then, I still didn't like think it was great. But
yeah.
because the main thing is, we thought like the stuff with whatever his name was, that guy, was done well and really interesting. It's just the actual courtroom stuff was just like, who cares, right?
Yeah.
But for here, it's like there wasn't, like, again, the only thing that was here in this movie that I was, like, actually legitimately kind of interested in was just the mystery just as a general topic, right? In the plot, and it's like, and again, it's like one of those things where it's like, the plot does seem kind of like, okay, whatever, just happening, but, like, that's kind of the point, but at the same time, like, but it's still kind of whatever. So, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm just trying to think, like, again, I'm trying to think, would someone say, did I like this movie? And I'm like, I don't know.
I thought the framing device was used pretty well with, like, it being an interview. It's just that if you don't really care for the interview format or, like, the narration format, then, you know, you're not going to really love it all the time. But I thought it was at least an interesting idea to use that in order to set up this narrative, and then
that too.
How the twist works into that was done well. It's just that maybe the story is not the most interesting to us as individuals.
Yeah,
for example,
like, I came away from that like, well, that was kind of neat, but so yeah, and so because I'm like, again, what I say, if someone asks, did you like it? And I'm like, I don't know. So then the other question would be, well, did you not like it? I don't know. Like, so
I feel pretty neutral.
Yeah, so I'm like, I guess I know what I'm rating it then, because I don't.
Yes. We all just feel neutral.
So I guess are we all in agreement then? Are we all?
5.
We're all 5. Okay. Sure.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not fantastic.
No,
either.
like, again, like, if someone told me I really got into this and thought it was really interesting and really well done, I'd be like, all right, you know,
I can
okay.
see that. Yeah.
I don't agree, but okay, right? So, it's kind of, I mean, you know, not to pull this, but I remember when we first kind of were looking into this, I was like, hey, I have a feeling this might be like Pulp Fiction. And story-wise, no, right?
No.
But in terms of how I feel about it, it's kind of similar, where it's like, it's objectively not poorly done, right? But like,
it's just that it's not up your alley.
Yeah, I didn't get really invested in it. There's some neat things about it. And if someone told me they really like it, I'd be like, okay. You know, I'm not gonna, like, think, why do you like this movie, you know? But, yeah, it's just kind of was there. And I don't feel like I completely wasted my time. Completely. But, yeah. That said, though, there was, the two things that do kind of hang over this movie is that we have, at least 2 people involved who have, like, serious, like, sexual assault allegations for them.
Like Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey is the one, but then also the director. So,
who's the director?
Bryan Singer, who there's been actually, I looked this up because I'm like, wait, didn't he have sexual assault stuff? And it was actually more than I thought it was. Yeah, and some of it was like for many years ago, and some of it was like last year. So, yeah,
fantastic.
He the other stuff, he has directed several of the X-Men movies, including the first one that we saw a while ago. And also he did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Awkward.
Yeah.
We didn't really like that either.
Yeah. So, but so there's all stuff with that. There's a whole big thing about that. I read it on Wikipedia, and I'm like, yeah, this is like really bad. Even though it's technically all allegations, I'm like, it's multiple things that all have a very similar pattern, and I'm like, you know, you don't have this come up this many times if there isn't at least something going on, right?
Yeah.
So, another thing I found is apparently there was an Indian remake
what?
that was apparently called Chocolate, and apparently it was terrible. So,
Chocolate?
You have no idea how many, like, English movies have been remade into Indian movies.
What?
I think there is one case, I forgot what film it was, but it was originally an English film, then it became a Bollywood film, then there was like a remake of the English film that I guess took something from the Bollywood film. And then there was a remake of then that movie got converted into a Bollywood movie.
What the heck?
I forgot what movie it was.
We could make like a whole special month for that. Like, what the heck?
Can we not?
I also am in agreement with Fallon.
Yay!
Like a 3-stage Pokemon evolution, but then with a Mega Evolution at the end.
But then it
No,
like turns
I
back
think-
in on itself at the same time, though.
Yeah.
I think more accurately, it's like a Stunfisk and then Galarian Stunfisk.
But then back
And
to
it just
Stunfisk.
goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just constantly trade Stunfisks.
That's funny. Well, alright, I guess that's all we have to
Yeah,
say
I mean,
about-
like, I don't... Yeah, again, I feel like I could get into detail, but pretty much my response to everything was, like, objectively fine, but I ultimately was just kind of eh. Like... And that's
I
every
guess
single aspect I can think of in terms of, like, editing and the music and, you know, the shots and the characters. It's just like, So, again, if you... I don't think someone who watching this would hate it. So if you haven't seen it, then if you're really curious, then I guess. But, you know, again, a lot of other people really like it. So maybe you'll find something in it that we don't. But,
Yeah, if you like crime noir and stuff like that, then this is probably the film for you.
Yeah, this is kind of, as Mai said, like, I didn't really realize, like, how many, like, mid-late 90s movies were that were like this. But, yeah.
No, I've been so disappointed and let down by all of them that I'm just so done with the genre of like late 90s film noir. I don't want any more.
Let me look back and see how many there were. I don't remember.
Please, if there are any more on the list, just take them off. I don't want to get let down again.
No, I don't. No, I'm talking about that we actually saw for the challenge or whatever. So, okay, there was Pulp Fiction, Get
I just
Shorty.
know there was a bunch of them in October. I
Yeah,
think.
it was Pulp Fiction. Let's see, Get Shorty. Counts
Sleepers.
That. Sleepers. Do you
Primal
count
Fear.
Primal Fear? Sort of, kind of related. The
LA
Saint,
Confidential.
the Saint, I guess, counts as being like
Yeah.
really terrible, but sure. Yeah, LA Confidential. Entrapment was another really bad version of that. Payback was also kind of like that.
I don't even remember anything about those two movies.
Payback was the $17,000 or whatever.
Oh, okay, never mind. I remember one thing.
He would not accept more money, and I was like, what the fuck,
Yeah, I don't know.
dude?
But yeah, there was a lot. I'm just like, yeah, these are all, again, like, probably the best one of those was...
LA Confidential is probably
Yeah,
the most
and it
interesting.
was more so that it feel like it just, like, told a straightforward story in, like, the
Yeah.
time period. And it
Yeah.
was just like, we're just gonna do
That's
this.
all
And it
we
was like,
wanted.
okay. Yeah, and it was fine.
God. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember what else is on the list. I don't know. I have to double check. But yeah, so there you go. There's our disjointed commentary that was as about inspiring as probably how we felt this movie was inspiring to us. So
Yeah.
hooray! It was all planned.
Yay,
I
consistency.
guess see what we're watching next.
Oh yeah, so take it away.
So we watched a movie that none of us have ever seen before. And it was a disappointment. Hopefully the next thing we watch isn't a disappointment, but it's also something none of us have seen before, but we've all heard of, which is Demon Slayer,
The anime.
the
Yes.
anime.
Yes,
I don't know if there's any other thing called Demon Slayer out there, but it's Demon Slayer the anime, which
Yeah.
is has
Um,
been popular for the past year or so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we're starting up with March, but we have our next show Sunday, and it's Tara's turn again, and she's like, you know what? Let's do something we haven't seen before, and it's like,
Exactly.
okay,
Could be fun.
yeah,
Could be
it could
fun.
be, it could be a giant disaster.
I mean, I've heard really good things about it. I've heard the characters are really good and the plot's interesting, so the character designs look really nice. That's the one thing I could say about it.
I don't even
So-
know the characters. I know nothing.
Cool.
All I know is that it's on
Okay, never
Netflix.
mind. I retract my statement. Me and Maya know what's
Okay. I know that it's
At
on Netflix, and I know that apparently it won like a bunch of like anime awards that were like a thing like a week ago or something.
Oh,
Oh,
it did.
I
Did
did
not
not.
know that.
I only know that because people in a Discord thing were talking about it. But anyway, so yeah, I guess since none of us know the show, we're just gonna follow the standard rule, which is watch 2 hours worth. So we're just gonna watch the first 6 episodes.
Yep.
And
hope
hopefully
that's
that's
not
a
bad
decent place
idea.
to stop. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure to the people who are watching this who have seen it, you can please don't notify us what happens and if that's a bad idea or not. We'll find out on our own
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think we looked it up after you decided what we were gonna do, and I think it was 26 episode season in total. I think.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so.
Yeah. So. We'll find out, I guess.
Yep.
Yep.
So into the great unknown.
Yes.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye.
Hey. Bye.